So we're back here at the National Franchise Exhibition at, I'm about to say Excel, but we're at the NEC, and I'm joined by Dani. Dani, if you could introduce yourself and tell us a bit about Dog First Aid.
Yeah, so I'm Dani Hickman. I'm the Director of Dog First Aid Training. We've been going since 2013, franchised in 2016. And we provide dog first aid training for dog owners and people who work with dogs.
Fantastic. And what's a kind of typical profile of a franchisee? What kind of background do they come from? And I suppose also, what do you look for? Who makes a good franchisee?
So in terms of the people we have in our network at the moment, we've got a lot of people who have other dog-related businesses. It fits really nicely with other dog-related businesses. So we've got 2 people who have pet shops, we've got a pet portrait artist, we've got a canine hydrotherapist, we've got groomers. So a lot of people do this alongside an existing dog business because, of course, customers of one become customers of another. One of our franchisees actually has 4 dog-related businesses. She is something of a superwoman. She is killing it in all 4 of her businesses. She's brilliant. We also have people who do it full time, so they don't have other commitments that they do alongside this. But we've got a really diverse group of people. So, we've got ex-financial directors. We do tend to attract a lot of ex-corporates who are like, I want to do something with purpose now. I want to do something that I really care about. So, they tend to be where we get people from. A lot of people come from having attended the course and going, well, I could do that. I like the idea of that. So,
yeah. And I suppose if there was something which, and I'm guessing slightly, but if there was something that united the backgrounds of everyone, I suppose having a passion for dogs and pets is a big part of that.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's where we tend to attract people from. But it's not enough just to have a passion for dogs. So that helps, obviously, and communicating that passion when you're educating people is really important, and we get lots of great feedback about that. But we're also looking for, people who can engage other people when they're delivering training, who can make sure that the training is understood. You've got to be nuts about customer service and delivering a great service. And some commercial acumen obviously goes a long way as well. We're running a business ultimately. So, we provide people with training, so you don't have to be the fully rounded, some people come, RFDs for example, there's no point me telling them the difference between a P&L and a balance sheet, but maybe they need some help with their social media marketing, so we don't sheep dip our franchisees through the training process. We really tailor it to their unique needs.
Yeah, amazing. And I suppose, what's the market like for dog first aid training? Because obviously there are so many pet owners in the UK. I know there's franchises in kind of baby first aid, it's quite a big thing now as well. I assume it's a huge market, and how does that kind of work? How many people do go through the training?
So it's a growing market, particularly since the pandemic. So there's now something like 14 million dogs in the UK. 34% of British households have a dog, so that's the market. And there's so many more people now as dog owners doing the course. So when I first started in 2018, I would say it was 80% pet professionals, so dog walkers, groomers, police dog handlers, search and rescue dog handlers, kennel workers, all of that kind of, people who work with dogs, and it benefited their business to have these skills. And probably 20% responsible dog owners. I would say that split now is much more 50-50. So I think as it's becoming known that dog first aid is a thing and it exists, more and more dog owners are going, well, yeah, I should know this. And again, when I first started, people would say, dog first aid, what's that? And people, do you come out in a first aid emergency, or do you train dogs to do first aid, or what is it? And now we don't get that. We go to shows and people go, oh, I've been looking for dog first aid training, so that's great. So it's just a lot more recognised. We get a lot more dog owners doing it.
Yeah, and that opens up a massive market, doesn't it? If you've actually got dog owners looking for the training.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the? I always think that if I was looking for a franchise or I was at a show and I was walking around, the one thing that I would always be thinking is, how would my life be different? What would a typical day be like for me if I was working in that kind of business? So what is a typical day or a typical week of a dog first aid franchisee?
So in terms of the actual training delivery, depending on the size of the territory, you could be running 2 courses a month, you could be running 6, 7 courses a month. Really depends on the size of the area that you take on. But on a day-to-day basis, there's admin that needs to be done. So you're booking venues, you're putting courses onto the system, you're building relationships with dog businesses. One of the first things that we get franchisees to do is identify every single dog business within their geographical territory, from dog-friendly pubs to, as I said, trainers, groomers, all of those kind of things, and start building relationships with them. So for me, sales is very much about sales through service. So identifying who is a likely user of your service and then building a relationship with them. What else do? They attend dog shows, so we exhibit at dog shows, and often that's on a local basis for our franchisees, although we also do national shows as well. They might be writing pieces for a magazine, so a PR piece or a blog for our website, and that's one of the great things for me about running your own business is, as somebody who gets bored quite easily, there's such a diverse range of things that you can do, and it's a big learning curve as well. So, as I said, nobody comes brilliant at everything. For me, what I loved was that ability to grow my skill set. I really enjoyed that.
Amazing. And what kind of sets your opportunity apart? I mean, it is quite a unique opportunity within the franchise world. It is very niche. What else kind of sets apart what you do from other franchise opportunities? It's
purpose driven. And we attract people who say, I want to make a difference. And that's great because that's who we are. So our values are very much around making a difference, very much about animal welfare, about doing the right thing, about integrity. And when people find us, and the conversations we've had over the last few days, it's really interesting because I hear a lot, been in corporates for 15 years, it doesn't have a soul, I want to do something I care about. And people can care about whatever they like, right? People can care about accountancy or travel agency or whatever, but this, for people for whom dogs matter, this is a really purpose-driven business, and I can't tell you the feeling you get when somebody phones you and says, I used the training and I saved my dog's life. It literally gives me goosebumps because when you get that call, and I remember exactly where I was, the first call I got with that, and it was a groomer, and a client's dog had gone into anaphylaxis on the table, and she emailed me and said, I knew what to do, I didn't panic, the dog survived, and I felt like I genuinely felt like a superhero. It was the best feeling, and that feeling doesn't fade the more of those you get. Like, that dog lived because of the training that I delivered. Can't beat that.
That's
Can't
amazing.
beat it.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. And what are the plans for the future for Dog First Aid?
So we're on a bit of a growth trajectory at the moment. We have 11 franchisees at the moment. We are looking to expand into the north of England, so a lot of our franchises are based sort of south of South Yorkshire. So we're hoping, we've had some great chats actually with people from Scotland and different places up north since we've been here. The other thing that we have on the horizon that's imminent is an off-qual qualification. So our course currently is accredited for CPD points, but it's not a formal qualification. So that's something that is coming out this year, because a lot of home boarders and breeders, in order to get a 5-star license, they need to have a level 3. So we're being asked more and more for that, and that's something that will be delivered this year. So we're looking at growth of the offering and growth of the network. That's the main thing for us at the moment.
That sounds great. And if people want to find out more about the Dog First Aid franchise, what's the best thing to do?
You can go to dog-first-aid.com and click on franchising, or you can email franchise@dog-first-aid.com. Yeah, they're the best two places, or even email info@dog-first-aid.com. We'll pick it up.